Hey, have you ever noticed those people who just don't chase anyone? They don't beg for attention, they don't cling to relationships, and yet, they seem so calm, so confident, so free. There's something magnetic about them, right? They're not running after people, yet people are drawn to them. What's their secret? Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of people who don't chase anyone. Why do they act this way? What's going on in their minds? And most importantly, what can we learn from them to live better, more fulfilling lives? Stick around, because this might just change the way you see yourself and your relationships. Let's get started. Chasing it's something most of us have done at some point. Maybe you've texted someone who left you on read, or you've gone out of your way to impress someone who didn't seem to care. It's exhausting, isn't it? And let's be honest, it rarely feels good. But then, there are those rare individuals who just don't. They don't chase friendships, romantic partners, or even opportunities that don't align with them. And yet, they're not lonely, they're not desperate, they're thriving. So, what's the deal? Are they just cold, arrogant, or is there something deeper at play? Spoiler alert, it's not about being emotionless. It's about a mindset rooted in self-worth, emotional intelligence, and a profound understanding of human behavior. Today, we're breaking it down into 7 key psychological traits of people who don't chase anyone. And trust me, by the end, you'll want to adopt some of these traits yourself. Let us start with the foundation. People who don't chase anyone have an unshakable sense of self-worth. They don't tie their value to how many people like them, text them back, or invite them to the party. This isn't arrogance, it's clarity. They know who they are, and they don't need external validation to feel whole. Psychologically, this comes from a concept called internal locus of control. These people believe their worth comes from within, not from others' opinions. Studies, like one from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology in 2018, show that people with a strong internal locus of control are less likely to seek approval and more likely to prioritize their own goals. Think about it. When was the last time you chased someone's approval? Maybe you kept calling a friend who never made time for you. Or you stayed in a one-sided relationship hoping they'd change. People who don't chase, they'd walk away. Not because they don't care, but because they know their time and energy are too valuable to waste on someone who doesn't reciprocate. Story time. I once knew someone named Sarah. She was always the one planning group hangouts. Texting first, keeping friendships alive. But one day, she realized she was exhausted. She stopped reaching out. Guess what? The people who truly valued her came back. The rest, they faded away. And Sarah, she was happier than ever. Takeaway: your worth isn't tied to who stays in your life. Start valuing yourself enough to stop chasing. Now, let's talk about detachment. People who don't chase aren't emotionally distant, they're strategically detached. There's a difference. Detachment doesn't mean they don't care. It means they don't let their happiness depend on someone else's actions. This ties to a psychological principle called non-attachment, rooted in Buddhist philosophy but backed by modern psychology. A study in the journal Mindfulness found that non-attachment is linked to lower stress and higher life satisfaction. These people don't cling to outcomes. If a friend ghosts them, they don't spiral. If a romantic interest pulls away, they don't beg. They let go, trusting that what's meant for them will stay. Here's an example. Imagine you're dating someone, and they start acting distant. Most of us might double text, overanalyze, or try to fix it, but someone who doesn't chase. They notice the distance, give space, and move forward. They not playing games, just not investing in someone who is not investing back. Practical tip. Next time you feel the urge to chase, pause. Ask yourself, am I chasing because I want this, or because I'm scared of losing it? That question alone can shift your mindset. Here's something fascinating. People who don't chase are often perfectly fine being alone. They don't see solitude as loneliness, they see it as freedom. Psychologically, this comes from high self-awareness and emotional resilience. They've spent time with themselves, so they don't need constant company to feel secure. A 2019 study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that people who enjoy their own company are less likely to engage in codependent behaviors. They don't chase because they don't need anyone to fill a void. They're their own best friend. Let me tell you about Mark, a guy I met at a coffee shop. He'd sit alone, sketching, completely content. People were drawn to him not because he was loud or flashy, but because he radiated this quiet confidence. When I asked him why he never seemed to chase anyone, he said, "I like my own company. If someone wants to join, great. If not, I'm good." Action step. Spend 30 minutes this week doing something alone, no phone, no distractions. Journal, walk, or just sit with your thoughts. You'll be surprised how empowering it feels. That's the next trait. People who don't chase are masters at setting boundaries, and they do it without apologizing. They know their limits, and they're not afraid to say no when something doesn't serve them. Psychologically, this is linked to assertiveness. a trait studied extensively in social psychology. Assertive people communicate their needs clearly and respectfully, which reduces resentment and burnout. A 2021 study in personality and individual differences found that assertive individuals report higher self-esteem and better relationships. Here's what this looks like. Imagine a coworker keeps asking you for favors, but they never return the effort. Most people might keep saying yes to avoid conflict, but someone who doesn't chase, they'd politely decline or set clear terms. They're not rude, they're just protecting their energy. Real-world example. My friend Lisa used to overcommit to everyone: friends, family, work. She was drained. Then she started saying no to things that didn't align with her priorities. People respected her more, not less. Try this. Practice saying no to one small thing this week. It could be an extra task or an invite you don't want. Notice how it feels to prioritize yourself. People who don't chase believe in mutual effort. They know that healthy relationships, whether friendships, romantic, or professional, require give and take. If they're always the one reaching out, they step back. Not out of pride, but because they trust that the right people will meet them halfway. This is rooted in social exchange theory, which suggests that relationships thrive when there's a balance of effort. A 2017 study in the Journal of Social Psychology found that imbalanced relationships lead to dissatisfaction and resentment. People who don't chase avoid this trap. Think about it. Have you ever poured energy into someone who gave nothing back? It's draining. But people who don't chase, they notice the imbalance early and redirect their energy to relationships that feel mutual. Quick tip: make a list of your closest relationships. Are you giving more than you're getting? If so, it might be time to step back and see who steps forward. Here's a deep one. People who don't chase understand that nothing lasts forever. They embrace impermanence. Friendships fade, relationships end, and that's okay. They don't cling to people out of fear of loss. They accept that change is part of life. This mindset is tied to existential psychology, which explores how we find meaning in a world of constant change. By accepting impermanence, these people free themselves from the need to control outcomes. They focus on the present, not on forcing someone to stay. Storytime. My cousin Jake used to obsess over keeping his high school friends close, even as they drifted apart. It caused him so much stress. Then he realized, people come and go, and that's natural. Now he focuses on enjoying the moment with whoever's in his life. He's so much happier. Reflection question: what are you holding on to that might be time to release? Letting go doesn't mean giving up, it means trusting life's flow. So, what's the takeaway? People who don't chase anyone aren't cold or uncaring, they're liberated. They value their self-worth, practice detachment, embrace solitude, set boundaries, trust reciprocity, and accept impermanence. And here's the best part: you can adopt these traits too. Start small. Next time you feel the urge to chase someone's attention, pause. Ask yourself, do I need this person to feel complete, or am I enough as I am? Build your self-worth, set boundaries, and trust that the right people will stay without you forcing it. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Have you ever stopped chasing someone? What happened? I read every comment, and I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, stop chasing, start living. See you soon.